Yeah, and there's zero wrong with it because it's just the way that it's being approached. And
Right.
what I find is the most important is once someone figures out whatever their rules are, what it doesn't matter what they are, they get to pick. They're the creator, the developer, the team that's working on it. Whatever they choose is what they choose. That you stick with it, and then sometimes you see things kind of hop, and you're like, that doesn't fit now because you've already established this is our rule, this is our design approach. And then when you change it, now granted, Black Star is different because you're going to be able to take stuff from all over the place. Like you have a freedom that almost no other universe can use because purposely it's designed to celebrate the different styles that are out there.
And
And
not
if
just from the franchises that inspired them, but also artists and the featured guests from other games. So yeah, everything will be its own approach, basically.
right, so your rule is we're celebrating all of these, so that's the rule. So there isn't anything that you can necessarily break. If I all of a sudden start doing Gundam styled units, I have broken the pre-established rules, and now I have to have a really really good in-universe explanation for why we've gone so far off the mark.
Right, right, and that's something that a lot of fiction suffers from, is that at some point, maybe it's because of overexposure, or maybe it's because it's been around too long and they don't know what else to do with it. So now we're gonna insert, oh look, this super enemy that is invincible and is totally different and breaks all the physics rules and all the rules that we have had established previously, because we don't know how to do anything else with it. So you have to be careful about that. Um, for Black Star, I'm basically like, anything goes. It just has to make internal sense.
Right, which is that works.
Yeah, it's as long as you're congruent and cohesive about your idea, both approaches can totally work. You just need to be like, to have that vision, that clear vision, and maintain that clear vision when you are designing your mechs and your game, really.
Mm-hmm. Right.
um so I think we covered a lot of ground in terms of mech design, and going into like some of the game design elements as well. um I have one last question here that someone asks is like, Rick, do you have any particular opinion on the amount of legs Max should have?
At least two. But that's not always a rule because we have a Mac. We have only one right now. That is, the equivalent of a tank mech. So it has treads for legs. It's
Right.
basically the lower half of it is a very large tank sort of style platform, and then it has the upper torso of a mech, which that
So
one. Go ahead.
it's a mech on a wheelchair, basically.
I mean that is one way you could describe it, but it's actually one of the more distinctive mechs that has gotten compliments from people, and it's for Orca, and it's one of the ones that people are like, "Are you going to do more like this?" And I didn't sit down and say, "Okay, this faction is going to be known for having their tank mechs," but it's something that people are like, "I haven't seen anything like this in other universes," which surprises me because I've seen some. But tank mechs are definitely not normal. They're
It's
they're more on the
Yeah.
fringe.
Yeah, it's because of that. They are more on the fringe. For example, I've played the Armored Core games, and those types of mechs exist in the Armored Core universe. But if you check most of the marketing materials for all those games, it's always like bipeds.
Yeah. So we're working on. I have right now one quad mech, and we're exploring another one. But we're actually having this conversation right now of which is better. Is it 4 or 6 legs?
Eh,
And my thing, I don't want to paint 6 legs. That was my. I was like, I remember painting my quad, and I'm like, eh. But
so so you're talking about leg tax.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the number of legs. So
Yeah. It's
I
there's a leg tax there. There's a
oh
leg
yeah,
tax.
yeah. So it's I can see the benefit potentially of a machine that has six. It's because the reason that we even have the quad mech, it's meant to be a mobile railgun essentially. So it's meant to be
Right.
something that shoots down invading craft that have already broken atmosphere. So it's basically a long range sniper. So
And
it's
needs to be more stable. Yeah.
right, but potentially six legs is better. Now, when we first designed it, I thought four. There was no question from that original modeler. So now we're actually kind of looking at going back and updating it because it doesn't visually fit with the rest of the Union of Stars. And that wasn't on purpose. It was just because where it fell in the development process that it kind of feels outside of their visuals. So I'm investigating the idea of spending the time and money to re-skin it essentially, and
Right.
because there hasn't really been anything. It hasn't been in any novels or short stories. There hasn't been, to my knowledge. I don't think I put it in anything yet. So it's able to be changed because while it's been out there and people might recognize it, it's not been out there so much that we've established it's got four legs and I can't touch it because I'll have to go back and update all kinds of things.
It was just the picture, the person that took that picture of the battlefield, it's an optical illusion. It's the angle. It's always had six legs. Don't
It's
think about it.
always has. What are you talking about? Where have you
These
been?
are not these are not the legs you are looking for.
You start getting the Mandela effect. What do you mean? There's always six.
Yeah. I'm a six leg kind of guy. It's either a biped or six legs. And I've been I sort of have like a block out for a six legged mech that originally was supposed to be done for Patreon that I've never gone back to. And I will eventually go back to do that six legged mech. Funnily enough, I don't like quad mechs, but I like six-legged mechs.
That's
Uh,
weird.
yeah, that's weird, and I can't tell you. I can't tell you why. I have no idea. I've thought about it like, what's the turn off with four legs? And I'm like, no, six just looks way cooler. I don't know.
Well,
Um,
six for the Union, six will work because I tried to like a lot of their visuals. I described them as being more aquatic looking. So
mhm.
honestly, what kind of won me over to the idea one of the artists were suggesting, well, like it fits more with that theme of aquatic is six as opposed like four doesn't make sense. There's no, most
You,
underwater
you,
creatures are going to have six, so or more
you know
depending
what?
on what they are.
You know what would really work well with the aquatic theme is that the mech is like a metal ball, right? And its legs all around. So it has like 36 legs. It's like a ball of legs.
I'm not ready to go to that. No, that's so much painting.
That's the leg tax. I really painting this mech professionally is like $25. Painting this 36 leg mech is like $500. Just because of all the legs.
Yeah, and it's been the only design where the idea of painting it steered me away, or at least it like pulled at my creativity. Before that was never a thing, and this is like no.
So I think the one conclusion that we can take from today's episode is that there is a leg tax on Mechs, and people might get tired of assembling and painting more legs. So, what is the sweet spot in terms of legs? Comment down below and tell us what you think. How many legs are too many legs? um, and that will surely go into effect in both our games. I said I'm gonna make an action card talking about legs. um, and be on the lookout for that special edition 36 leg mech coming out on April 1
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
for Black Star for sure.
Yeah, for sure.